Hey, when will we learn that rules are made to be broken? We love breaking the rules, so I don't know why we don't look at it that way. But when I say that, I mean there's no pat answer for people. You shouldn't tell people this is how you should parent. I don't know how you should parent. You know what I mean? The most important thing is that the people around us should feel heard, respected, and loved. There's no doubt about that. That is a must. That is what the Word of God says. That is what makes people feel valued. And that's the most important thing. But, we've got to realize, like, I was the kind of parent who I got the rules. I say what you're going to do, and it doesn't matter if you like it or not. This is what you're going to do. And I'm big on the whole authority thing. If I tell you to do something, you're going to do it. You're going to respect me. I will bat you in the back of the head, ask my grandchildren. But I do think that's an important factor, that I am the adult, I am the authority figure, and you are going to respect me. That's important. But I'll tell you what, I have a grandson who's kind of shy. And so I want to automatically go, look, when you come into a group of people that is your family, you go around and hug them and say hi to each of them. Well, he doesn't feel comfortable doing that. So I don't think I'm right to make him do that. Kids end up getting sexually abused because you're the kind of parent who says, I say do it and you do it. And then they think they have to go along with whatever an adult says. So that's not healthy. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I haven't been doing that for years. But I noticed that about myself. But it's true about just all kinds of walks of life. If you're trying to help people get into relationship with God, don't tell them they have to do this. They got to go to church. They should raise their hands in praise and worship. They should, sing out loud. They should always stand at church when everyone else is standing. You know what? That's their relationship with God. I don't know what is and isn't okay for you to do. I don't know. That's between you and God. So what I should be instructing you or helping you to discover is how to hear from God, how to ask Him and listen to Him and do what He says. That's going to be much better advice. So that rule's made to be broken. Many people no longer go to church. Is that okay or isn't that okay? I go to church every week. I love my church, so I go. And there's a lot of people there that I interact with and that I help and that they help me and so that's why I go. Do I think you have to go to church? No. It's none of my business if you go to church or not. That's between you and God. And those are just subjects that are, that's a religious subject. The other one's a parenting subject. But this can be true of anything. Where you should work, what you should eat. You know what? Everybody's DNA and chemical makeup is different. Their mindsets are different. I don't know if you'll be a good barber or if it would be wise for you to be a secretary. You know what I mean? I don't know who you are and how you operate. I can't tell you what to do. There are no rules anymore. We don't have the right to implement rules onto anybody else. I shouldn't say there's no more rules anymore. There are rules that have to be followed. I always say when I go and speak in prison, there's rules, and you do have to follow them. And, if you got a job, you got to be there when they say be there. If you're in a relationship, you have to come to agreement about what can and can't go on in that relationship. If you get to the place where you think there's rules that are laws that you don't have to follow, if you're on the highway, you got to follow the speed limit. If you own a car, you got to change the oil. That sucker's going to blow up, period. That's a rule. That's a law you've got to follow. And if you get to the point where you think you don't have any rules to follow, you're too high and mighty or rich and famous or whatever it may be, walk off the edge of a cliff. And the law of gravity will prove to you there are rules that must be followed. So I can't say there's not rules that need to be followed, but there is so much grace and so much diversity in our personalities and the way we operate that we can't implement our personal rules onto other people. And that includes our children. Learn to respect your children, hear their hearts, and help them develop the correct way to behave according to who they are. And my grandson, I just say, you don't have to hug everybody, but say hello if somebody speaks to you. And, I've learned how to help him respect people without having to do what I would do. So that I just think it's good for us to realize that our rules can't be implemented onto everybody. So think of that this week as you judge other people about what they're doing. That's none of your business. Have a good week. It's important that we have a reason to wake up every day. It's amazing. I've experienced it, and so can you. Take your feelings to him. He's good. You can do it. It'll make a difference.